guys, today videos we're gonna do a list to fabricate a airbox for a Chevy Silverado. So I pulled everything apart yesterday. I forgot to take a videos and I finally remembered today. So I pulled the camera out and show you guys. Pretty much stripped the intake, the silencer, the airbox. It's the airbox here. It's got a pretty big airbox from a factory. This is the intake pipe. They just slide on and off. Because the customer is not going to put he doesn't want a snorkel, he just wants a factory intake from the front. So we are going to reuse this piece, that slide in, and then you have to go in between the radiator and the frame. So we can't really do a 4-inch round to oval pipe. So that'll be good if you could. So because my original idea was to make a stainless pie cuts, oval pie cuts, that coming up through there, and then because they have a round 4-inch pipe round in on either side, it won't fit through that gap. So plan B, we're going to reuse this intake, and what I have to do when I make the airbox to fit in there, just to make the same inlet, square inlet as the factory one. So yeah, and pretty much it'll be a 4-inch pipe straight in, get rid of the silencer, make it look cleaner, sounds better. I'll show you guys what I've done so far. So I got my friend have pretty much a laser cutter. So he's got like a cheap laser cutter, but he used similar to what I got, but it's he removed a laser and he replaced it with a plasma handpiece and used a trigger switch to trigger the on-off switch on the plasma. So with the program he's able to cut me a piece using his CNC plasma that he made, which is, I mean, it works great. Like, as you can see, this is what I've drawn up. This is the top flange, top plate that go on top of the perspex, just give that bit of strength. This is a top flange of the box to be welded on, and then this is what I'm up to at the moment. So I'm going to drill this hole. Right, as I was saying before, I ran out of memory card, so I'm just going to drill this to maybe 6.5mm or 7mm drill bits, but I'm using a step drill, so you leave it nice tapered on the end after you finish. So I'll drill this for the nuts insert. So this is 9mm. But as you can see with the plasma, not sure if you can see it or not, pretty much the cutting profile is pretty good. So it looks alright. I just had a bit of play around with it, so came out pretty good. And yeah, so I'm gonna make a box around that. Top flange, I cut a gasket. I cut a gasket with my laser cutter yesterday, just for a trial, and it cut through like butter. So this is really great, and yeah, this worked really great on like foam, like colors, acrylics and that sort of stuff, it won't cut a clear acrylics, as I found out yesterday. So I try to cut a round piece just for a test out, and the laser beam sort of went through straight through. It doesn't cut through. So yeah, this is what I'm up to. So I'm gonna drill this out, make the sides. I've drawn up the piece that I need to cut. So I'm going to be cutting it all the piece by hand. So yeah, until I get my mate to show me how to hook it up, and I'm going to buy a plasma, hook this up, and pretty much make my own plasma bench out of this. And this sort of come with the extension piece as well, so I can make it longer. So I can make it twice as long, and I can cut say 600 by 400 out of it, and that should be good enough for what I want to do. So yeah, well, got this pipe back in, and the lesson learned: if you struggle to get out, if you struggle to take it out, and you will struggle to put it back in. So I took it out to assess what am I going to do with that pipe, and struggle to get it back in. I have to remove all these bars and move the Colorado. Come with this fin style grill, like if you can see through there, to control the temperature of the coolant that go through, control temperature of the engine. Pretty much because that's sitting there, and this is, you know, pretty much hard to put it back in. So pretty much I got it in, use a bit of force, and it slide through the back here, if you can see. So it pulled back a bit, so once I put the airbox in there and that square tube on the airbox line up, I can push it in straight into that the box. So, and yeah, I think one thing to I just found the ECU for this car. It's down here, pretty much right there. So it's inside next to the wheel well, so under the airbox. Pretty funny place to put it. So yeah, yeah, all good. I'll go start cutting that steel. Yeah, I was just showing you guys, this is just a bit of pain in the ass to put it back in. So, but if you guys decide to pull it out for some reason, make sure when you pull it out, you leave it out. Like saying some of you guys want to do snorkel on the side or whatever, you'll want to take this out. Make sure you're not there. It's just a pain in the ass to put it back in afterward. So I have bent up the plate that I cut from earlier. So it's going to be, so I bent up this side, 90 degree that side, then on a sheet 40, 45, 40, and then I tacked it all up. You can sort of start seeing the shape of the box now. So that's how deep it is. That's the same dimension of the old genuine factory box. So I just copied the dimension from that. And now we're just gonna work out the back side. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna measure the stock one, that airbox that came out. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a angle coming up here. It's gonna be a flat spot up here, about 150 by 150. It's gonna be coming up here. So we'll see how it go. I'm gonna go back and have a look at the design, and yeah, everything come out good, all tacked in. So I worked out this one piece here to be able to put the flat piece on there. I've cut out this section because it was originally square. So I cut that out, and what I did, I just lay that on a plate like that, mark it, square this out to where it meets. I'd say I put in 100mm out, and I square it out, and then I just connect that line to that line, and then you get that piece. And then next will be, because this here is now level, so I'm gonna make a triangle piece that go from there. Once I make that triangle piece, I'll be able to work out the side and this side. So yeah, coming together. It's just a one-off design, so this is sort of work out pretty good. So yeah. So what we're going to do now, we're going to mark where this intake gonna go. This is where that pipe from the grill, from the front grill to the airbox go, that plastic pipe. So because we're not going to fit a snorkel, so I'm going to do this intake pipe. If I was going to make a round 4" and make a round a round to oval pipe, it won't fit between the gap between the radiator and the frame, so I have to use the original pipe and pretty much just make it the same. So what I'm going to do is cut out a hole, what I need to that piece, and make up a pipe using a 3mm plate just bend it around, and once I do that I can put it and just weld it on there. So make it the same angle. Pretty much the airbox frame, the size of it, I went with just the outside frame of the old airbox. So pretty much that is the shape there of the flange on the old plastic airbox. So because this is tapered, sort of tapered in, I sort of try, because I measured my width of the alley airbox is to the outside flange there, so I have to measure whatever that measurement is and then make up this piece to fit, and then pretty much drill a 4-inch, put a pipe. I've got a MAF sensor adapter to weld onto the pipe. Once I do that, and then start making a mount. This old airbox only mount using one M10 bolt, which is that mount, and it's got a rubber grommet or rubber bushing that slide into the hole. Pretty much that's what's holding the airbox in place. So what I'm going to do, make the same sort of bracket, but and then have another bracket on the back of it, here, so it'll sort of come out and bolt it onto a existing M10 bolt right there, either that one or the one down here. So once I finish everything, I'm going to put it in there and mark out where the mount's going to be. So that's front bracket, just bolt on there. So yeah, and then that's pretty much it for the airbox. I'll cut out the acrylics for the top, and then that top plate that I got my mates to cut, they can go on top as well. And yeah, right, haven't been filming much, but got the bracket made, got another bracket made, so there's 2 brackets to hold it up. Then I cut all these holes and cut it a pipe, so it's going to be a bit out on the angle, so that when the filters sit on the inside, it's going to angle it in to suit the profile of the box. So yeah, that's what we're up to, and then we're going to get this weld in. I got the bead roller, so I'm going to put the bead on here for the silicone hose, and we're going to work out on this for the intake that sits into, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Cut the perspex and she's all done. I cut the perspex top for it. Just going to use the laser to do engraving on it. I've been researching because the diode laser doesn't cut or engrave clear perspex, which is to defeat the purpose of what I brought it for. But there's a trick to it. You can put a black spray paint on one side and then turn it around, and then you can start engraving. And as you can see, this is sort of a test piece at the different speeds, and it comes out right, come out pretty good. So yeah, gonna try that today, and then finish off the airbox and making a intake pipe. So yeah, right, I keep forgetting to film this stuff. So the airbox is finished. It's got double-sided tape that back on. I made a clip for the old ECU plug that just slide in, yeah, like that. It's all bolt in. First spec's done. I didn't do any engraving because I did a trial and it was it didn't work, so it just cracked right in the middle of the first specs. Not sure if it was too hot or not, but keep it clear. I might just leave that for now, see what you want to do. We could cut another one of these with my logo on it, but keep it clean for now. And now we're gonna just make this 4-inch intake pipe, and I brought some barb fittings. So I've got some weld-on bung to go on the side there for the breeders. But he did mention something about that he wants a catch can, so we have to figure out where to put that later on. So that's probably the next upgrades that you want to do. So what I can do now, I just plumb it straight into the intake pipe. It's original, using a 1/2-inch hose straight in, and then yeah, looks pretty good, looks clean. That short bits of pipe make it engine bay look a bit cleaner. Yeah. Oh, I got this 2-piece sort of mucked up and marked out, so I'm going to tack it together, and there's going to be another piece at the end there to go into the intake. So I'm going to do a bead roll just like this one. So yeah, came out pretty good. I got the airbox all assembly, and looks pretty good. So this short bits of pipe just going to go in there, looks pretty neat. It's not like a big long pipe like on my Colorado. So this short bits of pipe's going to be nice and compact, make everything looks nice and clean. As you would have remembered before, it's got this big intake silencer on top. So yeah, this looks pretty good now. So I'm going to get that all that tacked up, worked out this little short piece that go in there with the bead roller to just to hold it in, get all welded up, put it together, and see how it go. So this is done, all welded up. It's going to fit. We're going to bead roll this side, so I'm going to put it in here to do some bead rolling. So yeah, should be good. Do that and then fit it in the car. I got a bung to fit in for the breeders. So yeah. Well, that should do it. Looks alright. Just going to go over that. Just going to clean the edges up a bit more so fit it in the car, and we mark out where the bung's going to be. So this finish, it's all done. I run our normal 4-inch clamps. I use the band clamps for now. It's a bit too big, so got to change it up later. So there's a breeder's hose. So I use a 1/4 inch fittings So if you want to remove this and put the catch can on there, you just remove it, put a bung in it. It still looks factory, looks so good, you know. And you know, extra bung for nitrous if you want to go that route. So yeah, it's all done. Looks pretty good. I just got to mount this back on and finish putting the guard back on. This fits in the original hole. Oh, just gonna see. I'm sure if you guys can see or not down there where the original pipe had to fit in, just behind that wiring. So yeah, it's good. Clean up a lot of mess down here. Used to have this box here sit on top of it. So yeah. If you like this sort of content, just hit like and subscribe. And yeah, see you guys next time. Cheers.